Have you ever had a friend who felt more like family? Someone you shared everything with? Laughter, meals, watching your kids grow up side by side. Imagine one day that person starts to pull away. You see them across the street, and they quickly look down, avoiding your gaze. The casual chats over the fence stop. The shared coffees become a distant memory. You're left wondering, what did I do wrong? This was the heartbreaking reality for two neighbors. Let's call them Sarah and Maria. For years, their houses were extensions of each other. Their kids were best friends, running freely between the two homes. They were each other's emergency contact, confidant, and closest friend. Then something shifted. A new wave of rhetoric began to sweep through their town, amplified online and in certain community circles. It was subtle at first, whispers and side comments. Then it grew louder, more confident, and more divisive. One afternoon, Sarah finally caught Maria in her front yard and asked, with a voice full of pain, "Why do you avoid me now?" We shared meals, we raised our children together. What happened to us? Maria looked conflicted, her eyes filled with a storm of emotions. She finally stammered, I don't know, they say. They say your faith is dangerous. In that moment, the invisible wall between them became solid. Religion, which for centuries has been a source of comfort, community, and moral guidance for billions, was being twisted into a weapon. Complex histories and sacred texts were flattened into simple, ugly slogans. Fear was being packaged and sold as piety. Racism and xenophobia were dressing up in holy robes, hiding their hateful faces behind scripture. This isn't just a story about Sarah and Maria. It's a story we see playing out in communities all over the world. It's the story of how ideologies of hate can poison the purest human connections. These ideologies are masters of disguise. They don't announce themselves as hate. They introduce themselves as tradition, purity, or safety. They prey on our fear of the unknown, fear of economic instability, fear of losing our identity. They offer simple answers to complex questions and, most dangerously, a simple us versus them narrative. And it works. It works because it gives people a sense of belonging and a target for their anxieties. Suddenly, the neighbor you've known for a decade is no longer John Burr, the guy who loves gardening and always loans you his lawnmower. He becomes a symbol, a representative of the other side. The friendship, the shared history, all of it gets erased and replaced by a label. The tragedy is that this division is a lie. It's a carefully constructed illusion designed to consolidate power, to distract, and to control. When we are fighting with our neighbors, we are not looking at the real sources of our problems. We're not questioning the systems that might be failing us. We're just fighting each other, weakening the very fabric of our communities. So, how do we fight back? We don't fight back with more division. We fight back with courage. The courage to question the narratives we're fed. The courage to have difficult conversations. The courage to see the human being in front of us. not the label we've been told to stick on them. It's about remembering the shared meals, the borrowed sugar, the laughter of children playing together. It requires us to reconnect with the core principles that are so often the foundation of faith itself: compassion, empathy, and love. No major religion in its purest form calls for hatred of the neighbor. In fact, they almost universally call for the opposite. The golden rule, treat others as you would like to be treated, appears in some form in almost every spiritual and ethical tradition on earth. We need to reclaim that. We need to be brave enough to say, the person I know is kind and good. And that is the truth I will hold on to. No matter what they say, it's about choosing connection over conflict, empathy over suspicion. Think of Sarah and Maria. The solution isn't for one to abandon her faith or for the other to accept the hateful rumors. The solution is for them to remember the bond they shared, to talk, to understand, and to stand together against the voices trying to tear them apart. Let's be the people who build bridges, not walls. Let's be the ones who see faces, not labels. And let us be the ones who prove that love and friendship are far more powerful than any ideology of hate. Thank you for listening. If this message resonated with you, please share it and subscribe for more conversations that matter.